Good evening, firing squad of the Killing Wall. Tonight, I got an idea. I got a plan. I got a viewpoint. Some might even say I've got a vision. You know what that is? Don't? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about artistic visions. That's what we're talking about tonight. Troop Elizabeth, thank you for reporting in. Okay. We're going to be attacking artistic visions, artistic adaptations. Azazel, glad to see Lieutenant Azazel, glad to see you coming in. See, tonight we're going after a whole host of shit. We're going after Troop Gabby, thank you for reporting in. We're going after some interesting shit. We're going to be going after remakes. We're going to be going after covers. We're going to be going after adaptations, reimaginings, if you will. That's what we're going after tonight. And the fucks that feel that they're needed. Because the original is always better. Except in the cases where it's not. There are some things that are better left untouched. But, first and foremost, Troop Beth, thank you for reporting in. We've got our usual. Donate to Kinko. Buy one of his t-shirts. You heard me. General order. That's one. Here's two. Do not forget. Do not forget that we're available on several different types of fucking platforms. We are. And I highly suggest that you check us out. Because, and it's important that you remember this, because we've got some kick-ass shit that's coming down the pipeline. And the only way you'll be able to enjoy any of it, is if you tune into hellfireradio.com. That's right. You have to check it out. You have to be there for it. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to enjoy it. And what fun is that? I find that to be downright deplorable. Yes, I use the fucking word. Deplorable. Destructive. Downright sadistic. We've got shit going on Twitch. We've got shit going on YouTube. Not to mention, we've also got some kick-ass fucking festivals that are going to be coming up soon. That's right. Kick-ass fucking festivals. We've got shit that's going on in fucking July that I highly suggest you check the fuck out. Okay? Because that shit, man, oh man. Man, oh man. Let's see. I've got the legitimate fucking thing for it right here. Rockfest, July 2021. Highly fucking recommend you check it out. Okay? You can't fucking deny that. I mean, take a look at that fucking playlist there. Over the course of those few days, how can you possibly go fucking wrong? You can't. You can fucking not. Also, just in case some of you might have been wondering, might have been thinking, might have been contemplating, but actually thinking of following my fucking orders, guess what? Download Live 365, check it the fuck out. Look up Hellfire Radio there. You could listen to us there. You could check out all our kick-ass shit there. You can't go wrong with it. Seriously. We've also got some kick-ass shit at hellfireradio.com. Best in hard rock, hip-hop, and horror. It's 24-7. You cannot go wrong. Plus, I'm still here on Facebook Live. So, we've got all that kick-ass shit that's coming down the ring. Daniel, thank you for reporting in. Ronald, thank you for reporting in. So, see, my shit fucking went out. Good evening, Sergeant Tristan. So, let's start tackling what we gotta tackle here, because this shit aggravates me. This shit upsets me. Okay, first let's talk about remakes, shall we? I want to know the level of pretentiousness that exists in people that think they could do it better than what something was presented. It's basically standing on the shoulders of giants, don't you think? It's the one perfect way to actually be completely and totally stagnant. You have to come up with something original. You have to come up with something that legitimately makes a person say to themselves, I never thought of that before. Let me do the fucking thing. It's all right to be inspired, but at the same fucking time, you can't take a look at, let's say, for instance, Batman, and say to yourself, you want to what? I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to call it Batman. And then, no, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to call it Batman. And you want to what? It's going to be a different type of Batman. It's going to be either grittier, or it's going to be more modern, or it's going to be more neon. Fuck you, Schumacher. It's going to be more. Fuck you. It was good as it was. Remakes don't need to exist. They really don't. I get it. Some people feel that it inspires people to actually check out the original. And I totally and absolutely understand that. I really do. But at the same fucking time, you gotta ask yourself, why fix it if it ain't broke? Tristan, I'm gonna give you a warning. I'm gonna give you a warning, and I want this to blanket out to everybody because I'm not just gonna hit you with this. All right. I don't want anybody coming into the feed talking about a tragedy or an injury. If you're injured, you should not be here. You should be in the fucking hospital. Okay? I'm instituting that right now. The next time I see somebody in here saying, I lost a relative, I suddenly have COVID, I'm broken up, or I was just in an accident, or something along those lines, I'm just going to kick you. I'm just going to kick you. You got an issue? There's therapy, there's hotlines, there's hospitals. It's not here. Okay? I care about you and I want you to be taking care of yourselves. But unleashing it here, it starts to look like a cry for freaking attention. And I'm not going to keep doing it. I know I sound like an asshole when I say that, and I don't want to be an asshole. But you want to know what? If you're here, be here because you want to enjoy the show, or you have something to contribute, or you have a viewpoint. Save the tragedies for home. Here, escape your tragedies. If you feel you need to talk, reach out to me directly. Here's my freaking email. I will gladly give it to each and every single one of you. There's my email. You can message me directly and we'll have a dialogue. Offline. Absolutely, without question. But don't do it here. Okay? Million other places it could be done. Not here. So, hopefully, I won't have to have that discussion again. Also, I don't want to hear anything about the P word. Starts with P, ends in politics. Don't want to hear about it. If I catch one person mentioning anything in even the remotest way possible about it, I will remove you. This is a place to get pissed, not a place to complain. I'm your commander, not your therapist. I'm your commander, not your doctor. If you need help, consider this an order. Get help. That'll be the last that I'll be saying about it. And as always, as a general order, share this out to groups and timelines. Share this out to your friends. It's important. Because you want to know what? I don't want to see another fucking Schumacher remake. I don't want to see Nightmare on Elm Street touched again. I think Halloween was perfectly fine as it was. I don't think that Jason Voorhees needed to have a grittier reboot. That's right. I said it. Rob Zombie, great freaking director, good writer, didn't need to touch something that already existed. He could have come up with something a hell of a lot more original. Although I'm not going to lie. He started to touch Tarantino territory. Say that 5 times fast. Tarantino territory. Tarantino territory. Tarantino territory. Tarantino territory. Tarantino territory. And by that, I mean, let me try and remake the 70s and push it into the modern era. Can't do it. Can't do it. See, he's rebooting and remaking a genre, which is ambitious. I'll give him that. But there's about a billion other ways a person can be to be original. Remakes are seriously not the way to go. And I'm not just talking about film. Let's talk about music. Covers. Some have been good. Some of them have been shit. Absolute shit. We did not need a freaking cover of Fuel by Avril Lavigne. Okay? We did not need a cover of God, it's like my brain is completely and totally blanking on me right now. A Chucky remake looks like shit. And despite who's doing it, seriously, it didn't need to be done. Nightmare on Elm Street, you want to know what? Here's what's fucked about Nightmare on Elm Street. And this is what's sad about it. Here's what's sad about it. It got remade with the themes that it was originally supposed to have. Did you know that? That was what it originally was supposed to be. It was supposed to be about a molester, not a child killer. The problem is the second you turned it into a story about a molester, it turned to shit. And I think partially that's because nostalgia nuts wanted Englund in the role. They did not like Jackie Earl Haley's remake. And I get that. I get that. But, you know, sometimes you gotta look past the nostalgia and see if something is of quality. That's why I take a look at the Halloween and Friday the 13th remakes. The Halloween one, it gave me something that I always wanted to see, but at the same fucking time, it kind of ruined it. And it was showing Michael Myers' face. The old man face. It completely and totally dispelled the concept that it was a supernatural being. It was just a fucking mental patient. That's it. Invite your friends to like Hellfire. That's right, Defiance. That's what I like to fucking see. Yes, like Hellfire. I want you all in there doing the thing. And you know what, Elizabeth, you pointed something out there, but at the same time, there was also something that was supposed to be thrown in. He was just supposed to be a molester. He wasn't supposed to be a killer. That's where it got fucked. And then transitioned to molester and killer, and then it was just plain killer. The whole reason why they got rid of that concept was because at the time there started to be a little too much media attention on molesters, and he didn't want the film to be synonymous with that. He wanted it to be its own fucking thing. Yeah, Tyler. You see, there are a couple of exceptions where remakes are good. Land of Confusion by Disturbed is on par with Land of Confusion by Genesis. I'm not saying it's better. It's on par. I think the biggest freaking thing that would cause me to have a massive rock pop of a jizz blop is to see the two of them performing it as a collaboration. That would be phenomenal. Can you imagine? Think about it like this. All right. Reimaginings are what killed the Hellraiser franchise. That's what I think. Reimaginings. Not necessarily a reboot, but a reimagining. As a molester or as a killer, Tyler? Because Wes Craven flat out went on the record saying that it was meant to be a molester. But then because of all the freaking hype around molestation in the 80s, he decided to just have it as a killer. I actually liked Phil Collins' cover of Can't Hurry Love. You see, remakes, they're hit and miss. Covers are hit and miss. That's the fucked up part. Usually remakes suck. Covers are hit and miss. Remakes suck. Reboots really suck. Black Christmas, if we're going to keep to the theme of horror films, really? The remake wasn't needed. The original was just as good. If anything, better. Last House on the Left, same thing. I believe they remade it. Night of the Living Dead when it got remade. Day of the Dead when it got remade. First Friday the 13th was definitely awesome, Ronald. Yeah, that's true, Tyler. And it was, media pressure. No, audiences didn't like it too much. It's saddening when you see that, good music gets vanished. But, I mean, you've got remakes of movies, you've got remakes of music. How about remaking of legends and constantly pushing them out there? You know what I'm going to say, right? You know what I'm going to say. Stephanie Meyer and Sparkly Vampires. Vampires did not need a reimagining. They are meant to be scary. They are meant to be creatures of the night. They don't sparkle. And the fact that vampires have been done, redone, and then redone after being redone over and over and over and over and over again with different origins, different strengths, you name it. There are good films, but it needs to stop. We need a universal thing that has to be it. That's it. And then create sequels. Is that so hard? Is that so hard? That's what annoys me. The remaking of werewolves as creatures. The werewolf and vampire debate over which is better when they get combined. Okay? No. It's fucking ridiculous. You don't need this shit, okay? Werewolves are fucking lycanthropes that become werewolves when they get bitten. There's no little werewolf cub and then they fucking shit. Here's the thing, it's a fucking curse. Plain and simple, it's a fucking curse. Just like with vampirism, okay? It's a fucking curse. You don't need no secondary love story. You don't need no, oh my god, I can't believe, oh, the existential angst. No, you don't fucking need that shit, okay? This crap has to stop. Hollywood got told that nostalgia is a potent tool. No. It needs to end. We didn't need a remake or a live action. Disney, stop with that shit. Okay? We didn't need it. They didn't ask for it. So stop. Okay? Stop. We didn't need the Kelvin timeline for Star Trek. So stop. It's bullshit. And then they went after the Universal monsters. How many of you saw Tom Cruise's Mummy? Okay. Shyamalan wanted to create the Dark Universe, or Universal wanted to create Dark Universe. Yeah. And we're going to create a whole series of films on that to rival Marvel. They did, Tyler. They did it with the Mummy. It's where they also introduced the idea of Jekyll and Hyde. And then you got the Invisible Man. It's exactly Defiance. My Kiwi troop, thank you for reporting in. Defiance says it best. They want to make a remake, they need to add me in and rethink it. That's exactly true. And you want to know what? Lord for fucking bid they ever make a remake where there's a military leader. You throw me into that shit. You want to know what was a good fucking werewolf movie? The Howling. That's it. That's all you need. Or just The Wolfman. That's it. You didn't need to remake a Teen Wolf. Do you remember that shit? They remade Teen Wolf. Can you believe that? What the fuck? I'm not even going to talk about Dracula. They've remade that so many fucking times it's beaten to death, sadly. Lycanthropes, they've pushed to death. Zombies, they've pushed to death. Mummies, they pushed to death. Creature from the Black Lagoon, that's what Shape of Water was. American Werewolf in London was good because of the makeup effects and the practical effects they did, especially with the transformation. Still gets kudos. But that's as far as it goes. And I'll throw you one better. Okay? Let's skip movie remakes and music covers and touching upon nostalgia and ruining well-established characters in movies. Try this on for size. How many comic book fans do we have? Did we need the ultimates of everything? Did we need the ultimates? Did they have to change well-established characters? No. It was a cash grab. It was a fucking cash grab. Ultimates were, let's try and make it new. Ultimates were the first time Marvel rebooted. DC is the most guilty of it. My God. How many times have they done Crisis on Infinite Earths? In the comics, I mean, DC must have rebooted its entire universe like 8 times. It's to the point right now where you can almost time it. Okay, I think they're due for a reboot at any point right now. Don't worry, I'll be getting there, Elizabeth. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler. Although recently there was finally some resolution on something. They revealed the origin of the Joker. They finally revealed it. If you guys want to know that story, I'll tell you it right now. They finally revealed the origin of Joker. I don't blame you, James. I'm not a fan of DC myself, but I do try and keep up with it. Defiance, I hate to say this, Deadpool's always been like that. It's just fans are now idolizing every little aspect of them. they can't come up with solid story anymore. I mean, I think the last time that DC came up with a good story, with the exception of the one that just they just finished. The thing is that Tyler, there's an explanation behind that too, and it was done pretty well. Batman sat in something that's known as the Mobius chair, which gave him omnipotence. He was able to know everything, omniscience. And he asked, what is the Joker's true identity? Which kind of made me go, why ask that? And you end up finding out why that was a contradictory question later on. Because the statement that got made was, in reply, which one? As it turns out, there have been 3 Jokers this entire time. 3. You've got the clown Joker, the comedian Joker, and the criminal Joker. And what's fucked is that each of these Jokers have, in some way, shape, or form, impacted Batman, and all have one major plan in place, just one. And it finally got put into place, finally got pushed. And I'm trying not to spoil it. But the biggest twist is that Batman has known who Joker was this entire time. The entire time. I highly suggest you check it. I think the series is called The War of the Three Jokers. It's a good series. It resolves a lot. But before that, I think the only thing was the best run that DC had when it came to like reviving anything was the Black Lanterns. That whole fucking blackest night, brightest day shit. That was the best one. You know, and Marvel with their reboot of characters, retwisting the entire origins is very rare. And they only really do it when they know they're coming out with a movie property. That's the Ultimates. Or when they want to try and pander to a particular audience. You know, like Safe Space. The new Warriors. You know, you look at that and you just gotta say to yourself, like, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? It didn't need to happen. You know, remaking Nick Fury was a big one, and a lot of people said it had something to do with race. Didn't have shit to do with race. That's not why it irked me. What irked me is just they felt the need to do it. And I know they felt a need to do it. No, they've told that story a dozen times, Tyler, and that bothers me. It's like every single new studio has an idea as to how to remake Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was fine. And then they came out with James Garfield, and then after that they came out with whoever the fuck it is that's playing him now in the MCU, which is doing a good job. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't need to happen. Elizabeth, if they had cast who they originally planned to cast in the role, you wouldn't say that. The thing is that he makes a good Nick Fury for the Ultimates, and the problem is that you got a whole lot of different push for what the Ultimates were. I can't argue with that, Elizabeth, but I'm talking about in the comics. And in the comics, that origin story, thankfully, has always been the same. It's just they keep on seeing fit to tell it over and over again. Punisher, that artistic reimagining was a fucking train wreck and a half. There's so many other intellectual properties that can be made, and we can't blame misogyny or anything like that on it because to be honest with you, it comes down to it being good. Because if it was anything like misogyny or anything like that, the Wonder Woman movie would have tanked. As it turns out, it was the best one DC came out with. So explain that. Sabretooth, when it was Liev Schreiber, was the best Sabretooth. Sabretooth in the comics, when it was Victor Creed and he was a little bit more sentient, he was very much like Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth, and that was good. Um, I'd love to see a much more active roster in the X-Men beyond just the core team. I think they did good with Apocalypse. That was a great fucking portrayal in the films. And as far as the comics are concerned, they haven't changed any of his origins. It's a solid character. You can't fuck with it. When they delved a little bit into some of the other characters in the comics and incorporated them into the films, great freaking push. Now let's see them actually try and do a decent enough push for, I want to say, both universes merging. I want to see that. And I'm pretty damn sure everybody else agrees with me that they'd want to see it too. It's sad though that things that exist these days, people are looking at it like it's old, so it needs to be remade. That bothers me. But there are good things out there too. And I'm saying that right now because I'm getting comfortable right now. Because it's that time. I'll even do one better for you. You want to know how comfortable I am with all of you right now? This is how comfortable I am with all of you. I'm actually wearing my fucking glasses. Because I want to see everybody talking. So I'm going to open it up right now. Whatever it is you want my opinion on in regards to the subject matter, hit me with it. Because I'm more than happy to give you guys a full-blown opinion on. Cool beans, Richard. Thank you. Believe it or not, these are my original BCGs. These were issued to me when I was going through basic training. Still using. I agree, Elizabeth. And you want to know what? When it comes to video game to screen, I know that there's at least one person in this chat that didn't even know that there was a Super Mario Brothers movie. If you could believe it. And game to movie adaptations, sadly, have always been extremely hit or miss. Because video game fans are twice as fucking rabid in some cases. I was touching upon this, I think last night or the night before, about a Resident Evil film that's actually using the plot and location of the first Resident Evil game finally. It's not a zombie virus that's being made in a lab and you have all this fucking shit with Mila Jovovich and all that shit. No, it's actually going back to the original. Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield, the original characters. I get that, Tyler. Tyler says the first Mortal Kombat movie was good for what it was. It was decent. Yeah. I think unfortunately we can't have that these days, you know, especially with Mortal Kombat. And they tweaked the story specifically so that they could make the movie a little bit more realistic, which is sad. You know, freaking Liu Kang's brother being a fucking motivation. No, it's ridiculous. Um, and it's very difficult, you know. Everything being CGI, it's just a question of effects and how effective it is. There's very few things that you could pull off in games with practical effects in real life. It's difficult. You know, it's a thing. You know, they gotta have to legitimately like try and make some of the more interesting bits reality. I mean, Raul Julia's last performance was in a movie adaptation of a video game, for fuck's sake. Street Fighter. He was M. Bison. A lot of people forget that. And he made it because his kid liked the series or his grandkid. Movie was the worst fucking possible ever made. You see, Tyler, the reason why they can make Gears of War work is the universe is established enough that they could just create it as a background. The universe could be a backdrop and nobody will question it. But if they want to actually do a good game to movie adaptation, I want to see Metroid. I want to see Samus Aran on screen. That'd be interesting. To be honest, that would be pretty fucking epic. The first one was okay, Elizabeth. I'm apologizing, Tristan, for Netflix. I mean, for Doom. That was one of the worst ones ever made. That and House of the Dead. You can't turn a rail shooter into a movie. You can't. It's horrible. Not everything with The Rock is good. Look at Daddy Daycare. No, wait, that was Vin Diesel. That was still just as bad. Netflix's Castlevania. All right. My problem with that is that nobody asked for it until it became until it was created. Then suddenly everybody and their mother wanted it. You know that. mm, it was okay. Elizabeth, they did. They actually call it the Jersey Shore. It was a TV show. Kind of sucked. Evil Dead wasn't a game beforehand. You know, live action from anime can go well, but then you also take a look at Death Note. That was a live action from an anime and it sucked. You know, it's hit or miss. As I said, it's hit or miss. There's some that are good, there's some that are bad. It's sad because sometimes, you know, you look at it and it's always something that you liked beforehand, and that's what draws you to want to see the remake. Although one might argue that the remake, it's bad if you like it. It's bad if a remake is good. Do you know why? Because now you're divided as to which is better, and it creates that conflict. you know? And Tyler, I agree. There was a video game adaptation in the 80s of Friday the 13th. I actually still have the game cart, as they call it, the game cartridge. To this day, I could still hear that fucking theme for it. The theme of the counselor running around the lake. Sticks in your head, doesn't go away, which means it's a good chip tune. But Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking hard as fuck game. It was a nightmare. You know, games these days don't really translate to film too well, regardless of how well they're made. You know, Elizabeth, you seem to be following a theme here, all anime and manga. Got anything from this side of the pond? I have, Tristan, and as buggy as it was fun, but I hear tell they're actually taking off server support for it soon. And they didn't need to remake it, Tyler. Yeah, the multiplayer one where you could play as either Jason or the counselors. Yes, I know what you're talking about, Tristan. The one that actually got hit with a crap ton of freaking lawsuits from freaking Cunningham. That's the only reason why. I mean, that alone said said but it's an anime style based in Japan about a particular ninja or a particular clan with Asian style bits. Don't even try me here. What do you got from this side of the pond? And the Call of Duty franchise, my problem with the Call of Duty franchise is about 90% of the people that like it are people that would be too terrified to pick up a rifle and wear a uniform. I'm aware, Tyler, that's the problem. It stopped development on a lot of the aspects of the game itself. They couldn't release any more DLC. There was an entire level that they didn't release because of it. There was a version of Jason that they didn't release because of it that was a pre-order bonus that was eventually going to be DLC, and it got stopped in its tracks. It sucks. You know, you have to actually friend somebody and have them actually like share or something with you. There was something involving friend invites to be able to get you to be able to play as Hell Jason. You know, it's sad. It's it's irksome. You know, when they try and make games from movies and make movies from games. Adaptations and artistic visions. Blasphemy, Elizabeth. No, it would not make. I honestly think that Call of Duty would never translate to a good film. I don't think they can because you want to what we've already seen 5 million fucking movies about the Gulf War, about the Cold War, about war in general. We don't need more. It's been done repetitively, I might add. It doesn't need to happen again. We don't need it. It's not original. I would love to see a remake of Critter. That'd be a great remake. Or Pumpkinhead. That'd be interesting. I'd be curious to see what somebody would do with it. By the way, folks, I can tell you this right now. Okay? I see 5 distinct people in here. 5. Which means I want to see 50 I want to see 50 shares. You can do it. I know you can. They didn't need to remake Jeepers Creepers. Oh, not Jeepers Creepers. Candyman, and they did. That's because Cassandra Peterson is a grandma. Granted, she's a grandma I'd love to plow the ever living shit out of and dent bed springs with, but homegirl's retired, man. She's earned the right to kick back and relax. I'm sure she'd do it like as a small cameo, but geez, crazy. I don't think she's done with it. She doesn't want to do it anymore, I don't think. You know, it's like people saying Eartha Kitt should come back as Catwoman. Really? They're from the same era and they're practically the same age. Get me a picture with Cassandra Peterson and I'll die happy. Get me a night with Cassandra Peterson and I'll die happy and take the world with me. I'm pretty damn sure people would forgive me for that. It's, you know, it's a thing, man. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments? I'd love to hear them. Because if not, we can call it a night. I hope you all enjoyed this briefing tonight. And I'll see you all possibly in Craft Beer Corner tomorrow night, if we have it. If not, then no, I don't think it should be remade, Sergeant Christian. Killer Clowns is pristine as is, it's timeless as is, and it will always be such. It is without a doubt the most awesome. Although that does remind me we didn't need a remake of The Blob nor of Body Snatchers. Anyways, folks, I think that's it for tonight. I want to thank you all for reporting in. Like I said, tune in Monday for the next briefing. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you guys on Craft Beer Corner tomorrow night. I want you all to have a kick-ass weekend. And I'll see you all. Oh, what is my favorite female actress? Okay, now the questions are coming in. Okay, hang on. All right, who is my favorite female actress? It depends on the role, to be honest with you. If I'm looking for crazy psycho bitch, Eva Green. If I'm looking for somebody that has that whole seems to be sweet but would probably tear me apart in the sheets, the fuck is her name? She played Marjorie Tyrell in Game of Thrones. and also played Irene Adler in Elementary. I can't fucking remember her name, and it's killing me. Yeah. Also, you got Maggie Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway. There you go. Favorite slasher? Anything in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Freddy Krueger is without a doubt, and Robert Englund is my god, as far as that is concerned. But a very close second is Kane Hodder's Jason Voorhees. Very close second. I'd even dare to say they're on the same level. And before I even get a response to that, let me just say that Doug Bradley's Hell Priest, that is like my silver medal. The gold goes to Hodder and Englund, but the silver, definitely the very strong silver possible gold would be Doug Bradley. Fictional character I would fight to spend a night with. That's a good one. Harley Quinn. No question. Harleen Quinzel. I'd die happy because she'd probably kill me at the end of the night. Not only have I seen it, I've read the original text as well as the sequel that was done by John Gardner that's called Grendel. Any other questions, comments, concerns, complaints, cash payments? Yes, no, maybe so. Not the newest ones. Not the newest ones. Unfortunately. The last time I read the Gilgamesh was years and years and years ago. All right, folks. You have a good night. Oh, Christ. Sleep within a haunted house for a week. What actress? Will we be fucking the whole time? That's the big question. If you want to talk actress, does it have to be a non-porn actress? Because if it's a porn actress, I'd do it with Lauren Phillips. All right, that's it for tonight, folks. Have a good night. Sleep tight, and I'll see y'all on Monday. Briefing's over. Hereby.